This is how I store my components, from resistors to diodes and a lot more. Now, using these tiny bags is quite a cost-effective solution when you are broke because you keep on buying more and more components like an addict, which I am. I also have these other plastic boxes and this drawer, but I couldn't buy them anymore because I spent money on new motors and components like the addict I am. There's a catch to using these tiny bags because if you use the same method, you will know that they are messy, hard to arrange and difficult to find the exact bag you're looking for, especially when they are not labeled. Now, that's a huge problem for productivity and speed in the building process. I'm trying to build robots here, not spend my time sorting bags, because you will search and search for that 220 ohm bag of resistors and then randomly find it after pouring everything out despite putting your whole hand in and searching for the first couple of times. But I had a bunch of filament. You see where I'm going with this, right? So I pop open my PC and look for component storage bins I can 3D print. My requirements were simple: stackable, short print time and decent volume. No support would also be a good plus. I stumbled across this one that looked really good. I put on my printer, which is a slave to my demands, and started printing. Now, here's a couple of things one might not know about my country. We do not have 24/7 power supply, meaning 3D printing is hell. I recently got a UPS whose battery is on life support, but that changes a lot of things and does wonders, allowing me to turn off the printer when local power supply stations bring and take power supply as they gamble on how long you go without power. You lose. I kid you not, within 1 hour of having power, it can be taken away upwards of 5 times. Also, what if I build a robot to assist with this in the future? Subscribe, like, and drop a comment if you want to see me do that. There's a lot more robotics, embedded systems and electronics projects I usually do coming your way. But moving on, I picked a design that is stackable vertically and horizontally, and I also made sure it had a short print time. Unfortunately, after printing the first two, the tolerances were too tight for my printer and the size wasn't really as big as I would want it to be. Now, my printer, which performs like a drama queen whenever it comes to tight tolerances and doing anything remotely capable, is the only one I got, so I actually have to make things work. Another problem I had with the design was the finger grip bar section was too small for my fat fingers. Yes, I know. So I opened Fusion 360, taking inspiration from the design and modeled mine. Thank you, Art Gappa. This is now our design. I started from scratch, making the volume of the drawer longer and taller, making the grip at the front larger, and making the sliding sections have larger tolerances so that you can print it on your own shitty printer that isn't remotely new, just like mine. Once I confirmed one worked, I printed it in 2 different colors and assembled my full 8x3 stack. Now, I know I'll need more, but here's just how it looks right now. You can remove each row on its own and label it by using a paper slip-in, either handwritten or printed. Or be lazy like me and use some paper tape and write what you need on it. Quite simple. Can't blame me, man. These guys can be stacked in any way you want, which is one of the things I really like. Vertically, horizontally, angular, pretty much do what you want. I also plan on making me a robot which can bring me a component bin whenever I want from these stacks. So subscribe and drop a comment if you want to see that, or make a suggestion on that build possibly. Here's a montage of me painstakingly measuring my resistors that aren't labeled, packing them and then labeling the bins. Here you can see the final product. Hope you loved the video. It was a quick one and see you in the next one.